Hello, everyone, and welcome to live Q&A with Aldrine here on Ukulele Underground. And it's myself, Aldrine, and we have Kahai Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
Oh, we are so something's going on here. Oh,
That's my laptop.
it's a laptop, but it is live. This is kind of impromptu. I just kind of came in here on a Monday. I'm supposed to have private lessons, but but we had a little break and when the next private lessons are going to be, so I can kind of come in here and chat with you guys for a little bit, just to just to say hi and stuff. Hey, so we have a bunch of people from YouTube already. So what's up, guys? What is my ukulele model and brand for let's just get started, I guess. So
Yeah.
here on Ukulele on the Ground, I use a couple of ukuleles. So this first one right here is basically a teaching model for Kanilea. This is a tenor. I think they call it silk tenor. So it's got,
I,
huh?
I don't think they have that anymore, and I think it's just the K1, K2.
Yeah.
And you can get the E-Silk.
That's true.
Finish.
Yeah, the E-Silk
it's
finish.
Not, E-Silk model.
It used to have a
necessarily.
model and stuff,
Yeah.
but okay. So basically, it's a tenor Kanilea with silk finish with a ebony faceplate bridge and fretboard. So that's basically it. We wanted to keep it nice and simple so that everybody can kind of see where my fingers are going. I know there's other teachers out there who are like fancy with the fret, with the fret numbers and stuff. I wanted to kind of have an ukulele that I can use teaching and on stage if I have to use it on stage and stuff. So people on, like whenever I perform, people are like, why does he have like numbers on his frets? Does he not know where he is? So I was just like, I want something that I can use for video and for stage. So that's basically what I use. What strings do I use most? I make my own strings. I have AG cross AQ strings made by Akila and myself. So make sure you check those out. Akai, we have an Instagram question.
Yeah. It says this is from level 2.
Level 2. I don't know.
Music.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Some of my students find it hard to do bar chords.
Yes.
Do you have any suggestions for them?
Yeah, well, bar chords is basically like a seesaw act between your left hand and your right arm. So what you're gonna do is if you hold your ukulele correctly using your forearm and you kind of put it up here where the bottom of the body is, it's kind of pushing it forward. And with your pointer finger, that bar, all you have to do, see, I'm not using my thumb at all. I'm just kind of pulling it back like this, pulling it in place. So that should be enough support. I know a lot of people are like kind of pinching their way into those bars, but you don't really need that much, pressure. So you can just kind of use your thumb to help support it from the back. Because even without the thumb, you should be able to hear all those notes. Now you just kind of put it here, to, nice and support. You can put it up here if you want, wherever you want to kind of position your thumb. But it's basically this. It's that kind of pressure. It's enough to kind of bring it back. So you're playing the seesaw game between your forearm and your left hand. All right?
You also want to be careful about where your knuckles are, right?
Yeah, you want to be careful where your knuckles are. For myself, the big knuckle on your finger is kind of on the bottom. Okay, so you don't want that to. I mean, for some people it works. Another tip that I can give is kind of use it on the side like this. A lot of people have been kind of getting some success with that. So instead of doing it like straightforward with your pointer finger like this, you can kind of use this side of your finger. You can kind of move it like this.
Yeah,
that works too. Okay.
There's
a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So Steven asks, what EQ pedal do you like?
What EQ pedal do I like? I use an LR Baggs Venue, and it works kind of as a DI and as an EQ, as a boost, as a tuner. It's all that good stuff. It's like $300, but it's worth every penny.
So instead of having like a DI and an
an
EQ
EQ pedal and like
boost.
a boost pedal, volume pedal, and all that, all that stuff. So it's just one, and honestly, I don't really like to use pedals all too much because there came a time where I was using a lot of pedals, and it just seemed like I was kind of using the pedals to kind of mask my my mistakes. So now that I don't have any kind of pedals, because if with distortion, you can play a lot of stuff and you can mess up and people will still think it sounds cool. But without any of that fanciness, I don't even have a reverb pedal anymore. But without all that fanciness, everyone can hear everything, and so it's just pure ukulele at that point.
Yeah. So Paul Vela
Yes.
asked, hi Aldrine, how many years have you been playing for?
I've been playing for over 20 years. I don't know exactly how long, but it's been over 20 years. I'm guessing maybe almost 25 years at this point.
Yeah, because you played I think you said that your dad kind of taught you like a
Yeah, I
little
was
bit
playing
of
guitar, yeah, for church and stuff. But I picked up the ukulele at said church meeting. So there's this lady who just carried around an ukulele. I was like, dude, I'd rather carry that than carry like a guitar around. I'm so lazy. All right.
I think that's the story for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's why I played clarinet for band, baby.
Good. That's a good reason.
Yeah, if I could play piccolo, I would have played piccolo instead.
Okay. Marina asks, what is the hardest technique you have learned on the ukulele?
Hardest technique that the campanella is definitely, because campanellas you can't just do. I mean, unless you practice it a lot, I guess you can't just do it on the fly, because like knowing what notes that you kind of want to play. I know some people can, but I have a hard time. So I would say campanellas, because it has to be kind of a planned out thing before it gets done. I mean, or I guess I can still do campanellas, but it wouldn't sound as good as if I kind of had it planned beforehand.
Do you want to try and show like what a campanella is?
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot. So instead of going, you can do that. That's like one of the most basic thing that I can do. So instead of you kind of do it with different strings and letting all the notes ring out. Yeah.
So this one is from Sebastian Martins.
Ooh.
Can you recommend some fun chords that sound good together?
Oh man. Okay. Playing a lot of like that seventh stuff, like this kind of 7 chord, like, and then just funk is all about the groove. I feel you can play like regular chords, and
I think it says fun
chords.
Oh,
fun chords. I think it said funk chords. I'm like, oh, okay, was good for fun. Okay, so I was like, I was like, do some fun. Okay, so some fun chords, but to get any kind of 2-5-1 chord. So like B minor, E7 and A, or like A minor, D7, G. So any kind of 2-5-1 chord progression, super fun.
Yeah. There's a Instagram question.
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead, Instagram.
It went past already, but it was like, how do I get past basic strum?
How do you get past basic strum? You basically you just listen to as many like records as you can. Take your left hand, place it over the your fretboard. So you just kind of like focus on this and try to copy the drum beat. So instead of doing like this da 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 for everything, you just kind of like make your own beat and stuff. Like if I were to listen to I don't know, John Mayer's New Light, like I'm the boy from your other phone, and you can kind of make up your own strumming pattern on the right hand. I'm the boy from your other phone, nothing up inside your drawing home all alone. And it's like I'm not worried about my left hand or any chords and stuff. I'm just kind of making it up here. So now that I add the chords, it goes. I'm the boy from your other phone, lighting up inside your drawing home all alone. Instead of going that simple like I'm the boy from your other phone. So you can kind of make it up along the way, and that gets you to graduate. Okay. Next up. There's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
What did I step in? What did I step in?
What is the first embellishment you would add to a boring song to give it some pizzazz?
What is the first embellishment? I mean, the old faithfuls like rolls and chunks and stuff. Like that's bread and butter. Rolls and chunks. My first go-to.
Yeah, and there are some Instagram questions, but I think I missed them. So please,
please just type it again. If I missed your question on Instagram, type it again. Same thing with YouTube. We're getting through them. There's a lot of questions. I'm trying to do. Let's do a lightning round.
Do you play any other instrument?
I do. I play clarinet, play bass, guitar, and other random stuff.
What trick can I use to get teenagers to strum more gently?
Tell them to use their thumbs and just the flesh of your thumbs. Say, let's see. I don't know. Like when you say trick, I'm like trying to think of like you're tricking these people. But just kind of use your thumb. Just kind of do this for now. Instead of trying to force them to use their pointer finger and stuff, just kind of use your thumb to even just do this. Or just take your 4 fingers, place them on the bottom, and kind of strum this way. It'll force them to like kind of strum a little bit softer.
Any uke recommendations for little kids?
Uke recommendations for little kids. Anything from like Islander ukuleles, Kala. I think Kala has like that brand. What's that brand by Kala that's even like
Makala?
Makala. Saying Makala. I like those Ohana Sopraninos a lot. So if there's gonna be a kid just kind of fooling around with it, Ohana Sopranino is a little bit on the pricier side, but it's so much fun. But Makala if you don't want it to be too pricey. And then Islander ukuleles also.
How do I improve my chunk?
You improve your chunk. The chunk is basically done by the side of your thumb right here, not by your palm. A lot of people teach it with their open palm, not with your open palm, because it's a kind of a follow through. So when you're strumming down, up, down with your pointer finger, you kind of have the rest of your fingers relaxed. And when you're strumming, you should be twisting your wrist and never moving your arm, your forearm down and up. If you twist your wrist, you're looking at your nails this way, you're looking at your nails that way for the down and up. So when you look at your nails this way, your thumb should be right there, and you're just kind of doing a strum down. And with the follow through, if you twist that wrist correctly, the thumb should be there to stop the strings.
Peter asked, how do you practice B flat or B minor chord changes?
How do I practice B minor chord changes? I would go B minor to any like easy chord that I know. So I would go from B minor. I would actually play B minor 7. I cheat all the time. So B minor 7 and maybe go to an easy chord like C, and then go back to the B minor 7 and the C. So it's always good to go to a hard chord and go to an easy chord that you know, so it kind of gets you more comfortable with switching to a hard chord. Next. Instagram question.
When I have 5 minutes of time every few hours, and my uke is in my hands, what do I practice?
Okay. I would just kind of noodle around. I mean, you know, if we're talking practice, because I think practice and playing is two different things. I mean, I think you just play. If you have a few minutes and stuff, I think you should just enjoy your instrument, just play. But if you really want to practice, I think just kind of noodling with some chords. If there's a chord that you're having a hard time with, just like the guy was talking about the B minor chord, I would noodle around with the B minor chord, and then maybe I'll try to learn like a scale that uses the B minor chord and just kind of fool around with that. That's what I would do.
How do you get custom strings? I got an 8-string Laninkai that needs some.
Okay. You can. I'm gonna give a shout out to my friends over on the Ukulele site. Go to the Ukulele site. They can take care of you with those, with those strings, and they'll find the right string for you. Those guys are the best. Hawaii Music Supply, the Ukulele site. Make sure you check them out and call them up and say, hey, I have this whatever string. I need whatever strings for my whatever string. Whatever ukulele. I think they got you.
But a lot of string manufacturers actually do make like bigger packs now, like six string packs and 8-string packs.
Yeah.
If it shouldn't be too hard to find, but they'll definitely help you.
Yeah. Keep going.
Is the G chord shape with the 5th fret a good replacement for the pesky B flat?
Yes and no. Okay, so yes, if you're if you really want a B flat and you haven't been practicing, but if B flat usually follows like an F chord. So if your F chord is all the way down here and then you're playing a B flat, it's kind of a big jump. If that's if that's your thing, that's cool too. But there's no substitute for really getting that B flat down. If you're having a hard time with the B flat, instead of playing it this way, you can always start out with barring the 1st fret, then kind of go down as you get used to the B flat until you can get it like this.
Yeah. So just play the same B flat.
Yeah.
Like everything is the same except
this is good for now, but I would still practice B flat. Don't let that be a replacement. It's not a replacement. It's just choices.
Yeah. What scale practice would you recommend for somebody just starting doing melodies and riffs?
I mean, just a regular major scale. And if you want to get into modes and stuff, you can get into modes as well. So you're not just kind of playing do re mi all the time. You can do you can do modes. So you can do stuff like that.
And modes are playing the same scale.
Same scale, same key, same notes, but just starting and ending in different positions.
Yeah. So you start on the 2nd note instead of the 1st note. You start on
2nd note of the scale and then the 2nd note of the scale.
If you're doing like C major, you start on D, and then if you do go to E and then F. Yeah.
So it's always good fun. I mean, then you can do stuff like which is basically just a mode.
What is more effective learning practice for beginners? How much time and how often?
Honestly, just play as much as play as much as possible. The fastest way that I found is finding other people to play ukulele too, because you can kind of bounce ideas off of each other. If you don't have somebody that plays ukulele near you, teach somebody, and then you teaching them lets you understand those concepts better. And if that's not an option, jam along with a bunch of like records or even just YouTube at home. We on our YouTube channel we have play-alongs and stuff. You can use those play-alongs to get better. Really, just jamming and playing on your ukulele. A lot of people like think that, oh, I gotta do these scales, I gotta do these warm-ups and stuff, but something as simple as just playing along with something is really the best way to get better. That's why we have those.
Yeah. And like we kind of say like with that, with like playing with other people or playing with stuff, you can do it for as long as you want. Yeah. But then if you're doing like serious, like hardcore practice, that's skill practice or whatever, that maybe you want to limit to like 30 minutes a day, right? Because after that, it's not really helpful. Yeah. So. Why isn't the soprano size used by artists? It seems to be the standard size, but all the pros play tenor size. Standard
size, because I mean it's dating back to like the the turn of the century, back in 1900 like 1900, like all these players played soprano ukuleles. It wasn't until like later where the different sizes were kind of introduced, so that's why they're called the standard size. But guys like Ota-san, like pretty much a legend since, I don't know, it's like 60s, 70s. He's been killing it with the soprano uke for a long time. Guys over in Europe use a lot of soprano. So there are people out there, you just don't see them, because guys like Jake, Calais, myself, Taimane, we all use tenors and stuff. But there is a market, or there are like some purists out there that play soprano ukuleles.
So this is from Instagram.
Yes.
They say, this person said, they say that it is better to learn one new thing at a time. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. Like, because you can learn a bunch of stuff, and whatever you retain, like it's always a step forward. So as long as you're making steps forward, that should be all good. If you want to take like small steps forward, that's fine. If you want to take more, that's fine too. So it's really based on you and whatever you can handle, whatever you can whatever is good for you. Basically, you can learn one, and that's a lot actually. Learning one thing a day. Imagine there's like 7 days in a week. I'd learn 7 things in 1 week. That's, if we're talking techniques, that's like I know how to chunk and roll. What else? I need to fill up 5 more days. But yeah, so one thing at a time is all good. More stuff, not bad, not a bad thing.
And they are like I think where people get stuck is they say that I need to perfect something before I need to move on. And they say like I need to perfect a song before I move on. Don't let those like kind of put everything else in the back burner. You always want to keep moving forward. Because you suggest something for learning songs, right? You suggest learning.
Yeah, I suggest learning 3 songs. Like every week. Learn it as best as you can. If you don't learn it by the end of that week, move on to 3 new songs, and then you can always go back to those songs like a month or 2 later when you're better. As long as you're making steps, taking steps forward into getting better, it should be all good.
What's your favorite song to play?
So my favorite song to play, it changes. New Light has definitely been by John Mayer. That's why I played that earlier. It's one of my my go-to songs right now. I've been kind of digging Sing To Nom Chok from Thailand. He has a really fun song that's just C major 7 and G major 7, like super easy. So if I'm jamming at home, I like to just kind of jam some easy stuff. I save all the hard stuff on stage because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I can't just be playing body surfing every single minute of every day.
Emarina asks again, I bought a strap for my uke, but the thing is, using it might pierce the instrument. I've heard that is not a good thing to do.
If you're buying a strap that kind of goes down here, that might hurt your ukulele. But if you're talking about piercing your ukulele, as in like putting a strap peg, it's not too bad as long as you have somebody who knows what they're doing do it. So if you are using one that kind of hooks onto your sound hole, I suggest kind of putting something that will protect it. If not, then I would just go with finding someone that knows how to drill.
There's also the ones that attach to just like wrap around.
Oh yeah, wrap around. Yeah, so you can have it wrap around here on the headstock as well, but you still have to kind of drill a hole back here. So
you need one
still
peg at least.
Have to find somebody that knows how. As long as you can do that, you're all good.
I sound so flat when singing and playing. Is there anything I can do to help myself relax and sound okay?
I mean, you're preaching the choir. Like I am not the best. I'm not the most in tune singer. Like, but I sing because I love it. Like I don't sing because I think like I sound good or I'm trying to impress people. I sing because I love it, and that's kind of been my grandmother's like advice to me. Like, sing because you love it. Don't sing for anybody else. Sing for yourself. If it makes you happy, go sing. If you're a little flat, all good. But the more you sing, the better you'll get. The better you'll get at it. So just keep singing. Don't worry about how you sound. But if you really want to improve and stuff, you can always find lessons on YouTube, and I've kind of watched some of those. They have some great like warm-ups and little advice in helping you sing better. But I wouldn't be the person to give that advice because I'm usually kind of flat and I'm ahead of the beat. It's terrible. I'm aware. I'm self-aware of what I sound like.
Well, like I think you're always your harshest critic.
That's true. That's true.
This person might be worried.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So don't worry about them. Like my grandma said, just give them.
Yeah.
Just give them.
How do you teach someone rhythm that doesn't have rhythm?
Start out by, can you count 1, 2, 3, 4? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just strum every time you say a number. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's rhythm. If you can walk, you have rhythm, because if no one's walking like at a weird pace like this, everyone has rhythm. If you can count, if you can speaking is very rhythmic. If you can walk, you have rhythm. So it's just kind of getting that person to be to have coordination is what it is, like to kind of do this in time. So just say 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it starts from there.
I think what most people, it's not that people don't have rhythm, it's that most people can't recognize rhythm when they listen to music. And so that's just what you need to work on.
Yeah. If you can clap, you can do sing-alongs and stuff, you have rhythm.
Somebody on Instagram asked, where do you ask questions? So if
you can ask here on Instagram on the chat and stuff, but if you want, you can go to our YouTube channel. We have a live chat on the YouTube channel right now. The audio is way better and we have better cameras, so make sure you check out. I don't have any link posted or anything like that, but just go to YouTube, go to our Ukulele Underground channel, and the live show should be there.
If you're asking a question on Instagram, though, please, and if we miss it, please ask it again.
Yes.
Because we're just checking both chats. So, what's the best length for your thumbnail for lead work?
That's that's gonna differ like with each person, because the shorter it is, the better the tone. The longer it is, the easier it is to play. So you kind of just have to play around with it. So there's no right or wrong answer. For myself, my answer is this long. That's how long it should be. Yeah. Or for myself anyway, but it's up to you.
I think something that's surprising is that Jake actually he doesn't have too long.
Not too much. Yeah, that's why his tone is crisp.
So okay. Well, I guess that is kind of relating to the same thing. Do you have any advice regarding fingernails?
Regarding fingernails, cut them and then buff them. Don't just cut them and then use them. It's gonna sound super rough. Like, buff them so it sounds nice and smooth when it kind of hits the strings, because you don't want that. Like there's like that sound, that kind of gritty sound. If you just cut it with a nail cutter and then go play, you want to make sure to shine it. Turn it all shiny. Like a sunken treasure from a pirate wreck.
not too much. We don't want to get pulled down.
Yeah, whatever. Go as shine as you want, man. Go to one of those like Vietnamese nail places. Get some nice bling bling on yours, and people are like, man, that's some shiny nails.
Like, you've actually done that on like floors when your nail breaks.
Yeah,
or something.
Why you jelly, guy?
No.
Why you gotta jealous? Why you gotta jealous?
I like it when you do that, because then we go to like the boba place right next door and we get boba while we're waiting for you.
Yup.
So it's fun. So question: how long did it take you when it came to gaining the speed to play things like the triple strum, 3-finger tremolo, etc.?
I don't know what a 3-finger tremolo is, but as far as like speed goes and stuff, sometimes it takes a day, sometimes it takes a year. Like, it just depends on what the technique is and how efficient I want to get it and how clean I want to get it. Because I can get something pretty quick, but to get them to a level where I'm happy, it takes a little bit.
And it really depends on what it is, right?
Yeah.
Everything takes different times. Yeah. Do you use a low G?
Yes, on other ukuleles. Not on the ones that I teach. I try to go standard with the Ukulele Underground stuff. but my own recordings, like the Simpsons recording that I did last year, I used mostly a low G, like a soprano low G too.
Yeah, that was the Simpsons intro, or like the
Bob's Burgers intro for the Simpsons. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check it out. Yeah, boy was on the Simpsons.
Yeah. Would you recommend to have more than one ukulele, or is it better to learn on only one ukulele to be as good as possible?
Like I'm kind of torn with that question because I want as much ukuleles as possible. But like, if you really want to, get familiar with that one uke, you will get better if you're kind of familiarizing yourself with the same thing every time. Because if you're playing a different uke, you might have to do some small adjustments, but not too much. So I think either way, you can get better. You can definitely learn how to adapt if you have different ukes and stuff. You might not always be playing your own ukulele, so. It's just enjoy what you have.
This one is from Instagram. It's
sure.
2, 3, or 4 fingers for picking.
Okay. 2, 3, or 4 fingers. 3 fingers. Actually depends. If I'm doing flat picking, 1 finger. If I'm doing finger picking, 3 fingers.
But usually not.
Not 4 or more.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 only if I'm doing like some unison stuff, but that's not really like finger picking, I guess, but just unison finger picking. Then I'll use 4.
What did Jake call it on this uke minutes?
Pluck or something. Pluck strum.
Pluck strum. I think
if I'm doing a pluck strum, then be 4.
Richard asks, any tips for playing as a group?
Ooh. The tip is the smaller the better, because the more people in your group, the more voices and the more opinions and the more fingers that might not come on time, like that might not strum on time. So the less the better, so you can kind of have a more intimate relationship with your with the people that you play with. And the closer you are, like a musical relationship, the closer you are musically, the better you're able to kind of groove and blend with those other people. And that's really when the magic happens. When there's like 10 people trying to groove together, it's hard. But when you have 2 or 3 people like kind of keeping it nice and small, that's when like real groove happens, I believe. I mean, I know 12 piece bands that groove just as well, but in my own opinion, the smaller the better.
Yeah, and there's also like huge ukulele groups that all play together, and that kind of has its own charm too. Yeah.
Yes, of course. That's always fun.
Yeah. What kind of strings do you use for tenor and concert ukulele?
I use AG Cross AQ for tenor, and we are coming up with a concert set pretty soon. So I would use that if but currently I'm using Martin strings for my concert.
Maybe not recommended, but you also put on your AG Cross AQ strings onto your soprano too. So.
Yeah. I don't want to like tell people. My people start putting tenor strings in their ukes. So like, I broke my bridge. Guerrero said I could.
Use at your own risk. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you played the uke using a slide? Is there such a thing?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a lot of fun. I used to kind of think that I knew how to use a slide for my ukulele, and then I met Jason Arimoto, and he taught me how to actually use a slide for ukulele, and I've been having fun. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and you guys want to learn how to do slide ukulele, go check out Blues Ukulele by Jason Arimoto. Such a good course.
It's on the Ukulele Marketplace.
Yeah, it's on the Ukulele Ground Marketplace.
Are there magnetic straps?
I believe there are. Right, I think so. I think there are magnetic straps. I haven't used them, so I can't really be the advocate for those because I don't know how.
They're not really popular, so
they're
it's
not
hard
okay.
To,
yeah, so I'm gonna go with Kai's answer with they're not really that popular. But
it's not to say if they're good or bad. They're just not really popular, so they're not really widespread.
Okay.
Next. How old were you when you first learned ukulele, and where did you study music?
4th grade, whatever age that is. What age are you, Kahai, when you're 4th grade?
When you're 4th grade,
I believe 10 maybe.
No, I think you're a little bit younger. You're 8 maybe.
I don't know, because I was in 4th grade in 1994, and I was born in '84.
Okay.
But I don't know. I could be way off and way wrong. But that's you might be 9, because I think I started school a little bit later. Because 4th grade. Let's just say 4th grade.
Yeah.
Where did I study music? Studied music in School of Hard Knocks. Now, I don't know, like the nearest beach, the nearest beach by my house, like Poipu Beach, is where I studied music. But I also studied under Larry McIntosh, which is my band teacher at Kauai High School. I learned a lot of music theory and a lot of kind of music in general, not necessarily ukulele, but I learned music from Larry McIntosh.
Also, a lot
legend.
Yeah, and also like here in Hawaii, we're like lucky enough to get like ukulele lessons when we're pretty young. To get started with ukulele. Yeah. Steven asks, planning holidays on the island. What are the top spots to go from a ukulele lover's standpoint?
Okay.
Shops, factories, teachers.
I'm torn with this one because I love Kauai, and I would tell you to come to Kauai and stuff, but there's not really a lot of ukulele happenings here on Kauai. I would go to Oahu. I'm not a big fan of the city life and stuff, but if you're looking for ukulele happenings, that's definitely bumping. You got people like Calais, Carly, Taimane, and all these guys playing regularly in a bunch of places. You can go to Hawaii Music Supply or the ukulele site, and you can go check them out live, and you can go meet. Maybe you might be able even be able to meet Calais live. That's pretty cool. You can check out. There's always kind of ukulele happenings everywhere. Everyone and their mothers plays ukulele up on Oahu, so that's where I would go. Festivals happen there. A lot of ukulele factories go over there. So check out the Kanilea factory tour. Check out the Kamaka factory tour, Ko'oloa factory tour. I think Ko'ola has a factory tour too. I don't know. But you can definitely check them out. There's a lot of cool things to do. Oahu would be the place.
If you're coming here though, definitely send us an email.
Yeah, if you're coming here, we might be able to help you out with some ukulele happenings. Here is Kauai, by the way.
Yeah. What pickup should I choose for a uke? Active, passive, or does it depend on the brand?
Definitely active. Passive seems not enough juice for just for myself. I don't think active is enough juice, and you usually have to kind of turn it up. And sometimes if you turn it up, then you run into some problems like feedback and stuff. So I always just go active.
And then it really is depending on your personal taste
what you want.
So, if you can, try out as much actives or as much pickups as you can to see what you like. Any tips to help me with bending the string?
Use more than one finger. I see a lot of people try to do bends, especially with a ring finger, and just trying to bend it up. I can't even do it that well with just one finger. You can always use a second finger or perhaps even a third finger, on the frets behind it, and that'll help you kind of slide it up. So whenever I'm doing a bend, I almost never use just one finger. I use usually two fingers. So I use my ring finger to bend, and I use my middle finger right on the fret right behind it. So if I'm bending the 5th fret, I have my middle finger on the 4th fret, and I have 2 fingers to bend the string instead.
Any tips for percussive flamenco scratch strumming?
For percussive flamenco scratch strumming, that seems like a lot of buzzwords, right? Flamenco scratch strumming. Oh snap! Oh sorry, Instagram. Oh, I'm so sorry, Instagram. Oh no, Instagram fell. Okay, we're gonna redo Instagram. But for that question, I would look up rasquedo on YouTube. I would actually look up flamenco guitar. Those tutorials would do better than looking for an ukulele centric tutorial for flamenco scratch strumming, because that's just a lot of fancy words to just kind of do some flamenco strumming. Just look up flamenco strumming on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find a bunch of people doing that. But for my personal advice and stuff, learn how to do a chunk. And that kind of it comes from there. It stems from that. Learn how to do a roll. Do all kinds of different rolls, not just a regular roll, but maybe a 10-finger roll or a 2-finger roll, and then just kind of combine the chunks of the roll. That's kind of what it would sound like with the rolls and the chunks and stuff, and putting it together.
Let me see. What's the best way to practice a roll strum?
It's all in the twist of the wrist. I talked about the twist of the wrist earlier with the chunk. So if you're doing the twist of the wrist, you're looking at your nails this way like a construction worker, and you're looking at it like you just came back from a salon on the other side. That's the follow through. So if you're doing that, you're kind of you're twisting it so it goes pinky first, right? Always pinky first and end with the pointer finger. Never go pointer finger first and then end with the pinky finger, because you're not going to do a pinky finger on the upstrum. You're going to do a pointer finger on the upstrum. So want your pointer finger to be last. So that's the first thing that hits the strings going up.
You also tell people to do the what is it, stairs, right?
Yeah, kind of stairs like this, but mostly just kind of relax your fingers. A lot of people feel like they have to kind of tense up. Just relax your fingers, do some stairs like this, and just kind of like let it cascade through the strings like this. But going from this position to looking at your nails like a salon. Construction worker, salon. Not saying that construction workers can't go to salons, just, maybe not during work hours. Well, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah. Any plans to come back to Europe for a festival?
Maybe. That's all I can say. I mean, like, if we get invited to some, then yeah, sure. But I think maybe the Czech fests, and who knows, and if we can do anything else. But if you guys are asking, yes, we would love to.
This one I'm not sure if we can really help with, because when I follow tutorials, I feel like it's so wrong. Why?
I mean, I hope you're not watching our tutorials. Yeah. But like, it's really it's different strokes, for different people. Some people learn a certain way, some people learn another way. And I'm glad there's a bunch of different tutorials out there, because if you do watch ours and don't get it and you get it from someone else, we're just happy that you got it. Yeah, so I'm glad. If one doesn't work for you, I'm sure you don't even have to look too far, but you'll find another tutorial that does. We believe in our product. Check out Ukulele on the Ground if you haven't, ukuleleontheground.com. And if you want, we do have UU Plus, which you can sign up for. It's a subscription service, and I offer 2 15-minute private lessons. So if there's something that you really can't get, then I will be one-on-one with you on a private lesson, and I'll help you myself.
We have you do that, and then we also have one-on-one coaching on Thursdays.
On Thursdays we have all kinds of ways to get you to where you need to be. So check out UU Plus or Ukulele on the Ground in general, just as a basic thing, and UU Plus if you really want to get serious about taking it to the next level.
I just bought a 5-string uke, not double G, but I have no idea how to tune it. How would you tune an extra string?
Depends on where that fifth string is going to be, because if it's look at the nut, which is this part of your ukulele. Whichever string it's closest to, it's usually doubling up a string. So if you're doubling up any one of these strings, say for example it's the A string, then you tune it A. If it's an E string, to the E, so on and so forth. But it just really depends where that fifth string is. Usually it's on the C or the G. Those are the two most common places. If it's G, I would put a high and low G. So if you already have a high G in there, put a low G on the extra string. If it's C, same thing. If you already have like a low G, put a low C, put a high C.
I've been playing for some years now, and I don't know what to play anymore. Any advice?
Challenge yourself and just like kind of do a blind pick. Just kind of close your eyes and go like this, but must be. But yeah, kind of do that, or ask yourself, or ask your friends. Give me some suggestions on what I should learn next, and people will challenge you, like play Dragon Force or something. Then there you go. That's your challenge. If you feel like you don't have anything else to learn, then go learn something like Dragon Force.
Was it like last year or like maybe a few months ago? Yeah. Maybe not exactly a year. You worked on playing jazz songs with a jazz group, and you said that was really helpful for you. So.
Right. I mean, like Dragon Force is a joke and stuff, but really, if you want to learn something, you challenge yourself in something that you haven't done before. For myself, I didn't really play a lot of jazz on my ukulele, but I did play a lot of jazz on my saxophone and clarinet and stuff. I love jazz. I love the concepts and stuff, and I want to make my playing better. So that's what I did. So challenge yourself into something different. If you don't really play jazz, go challenge yourself with some jazz. You don't really play flamenco, go challenge yourself with flamenco. Maybe gypsy music. I heard you can't say gypsy anymore. I heard that's kind of a derogatory term or whatever. GJ. Let's just say if you want to play GJ, you can go challenge stuff to that. But always kind of keep challenges, and not just with ukulele, but basically with anything in life.
How about a warm-up exercise?
Warm-up exercises, you can do rock on and inner peace. You can do that's like the thing that I can show you guys really fast right now. Just do rock on and then do inner peace. So the inner 2 fingers are showing a peace sign, and then you want to switch. want to do it two hands. You kind of want to do one rock on and one inner piece and one. For more, check out Ukulele Underground Plus.
That's specifically Chris Salvador's
Chris
master
Salvador.
It's really
Give
good.
credit where credit is due. Guy.
What is your favorite ukulele song?
My favorite ukulele song. Well, there's a lot. I mean, body surfing, just all time. I mean, it's not always my go-to song to listen to, but it's one of those songs that really opened up a lot of doors, for my brain, and just kind of like seeing that something, a song like that exists, or at least Jake's rendition of it. It's just like, man, that's cool. I want to do more stuff like that, and that's really inspired me.
Do you ever play, or I guess it's, do you ever use claw hammer technique?
Sometimes. I'm not too good at it. I'm not gonna show you so that people can't make fun of me or anything like that, but I can, kind of. I try, but sometimes, depending on what the song is. Sometimes it uses like a claw hammer.
I think at Ukulele Underground, we really like Aaron Kime.
Yeah, Aaron Kime. Check out Aaron Kime. He's like really good.
He has videos on YouTube, but then he also has like a workbook, I think, or something on our marketplace that you can get.
Yeah.
So it's really good. Yeah.
So the answer is yes, but I don't want to show because I don't want to get made fun of.
Ken Middleton is gonna call you out. Are your ukes solid koa, and is that your favorite wood?
I have a lot of ukuleles that are solid koa. This is a solid koa. Basically, all koa ukuleles that I have are solid wood koas. I do enjoy a bunch of different woods as well. I like redwoods, especially for the back and sides. Not back, so the top, like redwood tops. I like spruce tops. Spruce tops are good. I like the rosewood kind of back and sides, Indian rosewood, if and Brazilian if it's available. I know it's tough to get Brazilian rosewood now, but Indian rosewood works just as good. Maybe Indian rosewood and spruce top, Adirondack spruce to be exact. Good stuff. No, Sitka. I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So going back to the 5-string uke question.
Yeah.
He said, I should have clarified the uke with 5 strings doesn't have any double strings.
Okay.
All 5 strings are the same spacing on the nut. The extra string is over the G.
I mean, you can, at that point, you can tune it however you want. I would tune it maybe to a, what would that be? So a 5, like a D,
Yeah.
Like I would tune it like a low D, so it'd be a D, G, C, E, A.
Yeah.
That would work. Yeah, but just experiment at that point, like, yeah, you can fool around with like a lot of different, like a lot of different tunings. But yeah, I would go D. Low D would be the safe answer.
Yeah, because usually ukuleles and guitars, they're tuned
like
with
fifth,
in
5
fifths.
frets up. Yeah.
Yeah, except for the last 2 strings, or like the last, what is it? Like between the third.
Yeah,
and the second.
then it would be
Fourths.
No, yeah, 4 frets.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
Can you play us your most technical composition?
Oh, maybe not right now, but like,
what is?
I don't even know what my most technical. I would think it's like Senor Victor, like played correctly with with all like the like little like triplets and stuff, and the double mutes, like with those with those hits. Maybe that, and then it gets kind of technical during the song, a lot of different strums, but it would be that.
Yeah, and I think that was like our last question on.
Right on. Yeah, we were on for maybe an hour, like almost an hour, maybe 45 minutes or something. So, what pickup do I use? I currently use an R-Tech pickup by Kanilea. I think it's like R, like the little R-T-E-C or A-R-T-E-C, one of those. I don't know what it's spelled.
Like when you order a Kanilea, it's just
standard.
Yeah.
Just say that you want an R-Tech active pickup because
so just put it in.
Ask them finally. It's like, give me the one that Aldrine uses, and they'll probably just give it to you. Like, okay, that'll be $300. How to play all across the fretboard? You need to know modes and all that stuff. It helps. Modes definitely help if you want to like play across the fretboard. But I would suggest practicing like different islands, what we like to call it in Ukulele Underground. So or boxes, So like in C, there's that box in C, and there's a 5, so that would be the 2 modes. So it's like a Mixolydian and just a regular Ionian. So those two boxes and stuff, and that'll get you to to all at least all the way up to the 10th fret of your fretboard. And you can always just reset it by using the same Ionian box on the 12th fret.
On Ukulele Underground, we actually have a class called Mastering Your Fretboard too. Mm-hmm. That would help you learn the notes at least.
Yep. What do I play for fun? I play with cards for fun. I play video games for fun. But as far as music, what do I play for fun? I mean, I jam here all the time. What do you hear me jam? Emo music?
Yeah, we play a lot of emo music.
A lot of emo music.
Surprisingly. I don't know. I think that's just for us though. That's just fun for us, right? Like, it's just funny. So.
It's fun. I mean, like I jam like basically whatever I'm feeling that day.
I think. Isn't your kind of go-to if you're just like picking something or strumming something like kind of like a reggae or something?
Yeah, you just play like reggae songs and stuff. Just because now this is gonna sound super like hoity-toity, but like I play a bunch, like performing wise and stuff. So when I'm on my downtime, like I just don't like to try that hard. Like I don't want to be like body surfing it up like at home. And if I'm just trying to relax, I'll play. Just like how I played earlier, like when this thing started, I was playing "Waiting in Vain" by Bob Marley, just something that nice and simple, 2 chords, nothing too crazy. If I'm practicing something, that's when the crazy kind of comes out. But for the most part, I like relaxing stuff. I mentioned "Sing To Numchok," which is just that 2 chord song, and it's crazy because it jumps into an E flat to B flat major 7. Same two chords still, but it switches like a step and a half up. If you're having a hard time. Every day is a struggle. I know how it feels. You need to take time. And then it goes to you're not alone because I'm here. It's kind of cool. That's the kind of stuff that I like.
I think too, like when we're just hanging out or like we're
Thai accent, but it's in English. Look for the song "Who" or like HOO, or I think "Who" is "Who" or just "Who" by Sing To. So SING like sing, TO, Sing To, and the chorus goes. Ooh, ba, ba, da, ba. Ooh, ba, ba, da, ba, 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 ba. And it just kind of. That's what I like to jam at home. Something simple. If Kahai were an anime character, what anime? If he was an anime, what anime would you be, Kahai? And why is it JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
I've never watched.
And why is it Sailor Moon?
Maybe Sailor Moon. Yeah, I don't know.
What's your favorite anime?
I don't know.
It's like, who's your favorite child? Who's your favorite baby?
Yeah. Depends on what season. Is there a trick to the reggae strum?
Strum on 2 and 4. That kind of gives it that up, that upbeat kind of strum. So if you just do a regular 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so just kind of strum on 2 and 4. So I would mute everything else and then let go on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So nice and simple. That's kind of the trick, A lot of people like get it backwards and strum on 1 and 3 instead, and just feels weird. The reggae feels weird, so I try to get it on 2 and 4. Yeah.
Basically, you want like on beat and an off beat.
Yes. Yeah. Because it has to sound like you're almost like floating, like you're kind of going down and then you're floating up. So it's like a very floating kind of vibe to it.
Yeah. If my uke only has 12 frets, how can I play notes that go above with that without buying a new uke?
Even without the frets and stuff, you can kind of guess where it's going to be. I mean, my best advice would be to get a different ukulele. But if you absolutely can't, and I didn't always have an ukulele over 12 fret, you can always kind of guess. Do we have one that's not 12 frets? But okay, for example, this is like 12, 15, 17, 19. I can always play a 20th fret here, or 21 fret, or 22 fret, or 23 fret, or 24, 25. So I know that, say, this would be, what is 10 plus 2? 22. If I needed a 22 fret because I wanted to kind of make this ring out. I'm gonna guess it's right here, and I get that 22 frets. So you kind of just make up your frets as you go along down here. So you can do that.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not easy, but you can. It's possible.
That is the hard way.
Yeah.
And then the easy way is.
So I don't always hit it.
That's like a technique called squealies, like where it's artificial technique or artificial harmonics. Yeah. Is there a Hawaiian tuning that's different from GCEA? I met a student from Oahu who asked to have someone from the mainland tune her uke.
No. I mean, quite frankly, no. If it was a different tuning, it would be slack key, if that's what they're referring to, which would be GCEG. But really, like Hawaiian tuning is just regular standard GCEA tuning.
There's also like tuning a step up, which like
it's a Canadian
call
tuning.
Yeah. And kind of that we
like, if you play around in Hawaii with a Canadian tuning, you're like, no.
Well, we just heard that from James Hill, right?
Yes,
like that's what he calls it, and he explained it to us. Do you recommend an amp for use with a passive pickup?
Yeah, I mean, if it works, like I said, the only thing that I don't really like with passive is that they don't give too much. They don't have a lot of juice, and they can be quite temperamental when it comes to volume, because if you crank it up because it doesn't have juice, you crank it up, then you're getting too much pickup noise too, like because you're making everything louder. And sometimes it doesn't pick up like the vibrations that the strings are making, but it will pick up like all the ukulele noises, so it's going to magnify that as well. But yeah, amps pretty okay with any kind of pickup, active or passive otherwise. What's up, Tito Boy? Good morning, buddy. Did you just wake up, man? It's 10 o'clock.
Hey, it's everybody wakes up at their own time. Who fixes your ukuleles? Who would you say is the best ukulele maker?
Both. Same answer. Joe Souza. I think Joe Souza makes the best ukuleles in the world. That's like I'm not even gonna be hesitant or shy to say it. And it's not because I'm sponsored by him. It's because I've worked alongside him on a lot of projects and stuff, and he always has a really, really, really cool vision for everything that I talk about. If I want something, he knows exactly what I'm envisioning. And we kind of make it together, So like the silk finish, like that's all like the vision of like Joe Souza, and like the silk necks and the it's awesome. He's really, really, really cool to work with, and he fixes if I need something fixed, I send it to him right away. He fixes it and he sends it over. So that's
kind of the best.
Big ups to Kanilea ukuleles.
That's kind of the best though, like for any brand of ukulele.
If it's the relationship with the
you kind of want to send it back to the original maker.
Luthier, yeah.
You're gonna know what's the best way to fix it.
Yeah.
Do you recommend learning to tune by ear, or is it okay to use a tuning app?
I would recommend learning to tune by ear, but no shame in using a tuning app. I still use a tuning app, and I know how to tune by ear, so don't worry about it. And sometimes your ears are not always, pinpoint accurate, so.
What tuning by ear does, and like what learning by tuning by ear is good for, it's just note recognition, or like knowing like when you're playing something, I'm in tune, or I'm out of tune. So it just helps with that. Joe
Souza's good people. He's good people. Like the Souzas in general, they're really awesome. They're spreading like the Kanilea message like at an alarming rate, actually. Like they're growing a lot, which is really, really, really cool. I'm proud of them. I'm super happy for them. They're like my second set of parents.
So
third set of parents, I guess. Sorry to the Mitsuedas.
It's gonna pretty soon. It's like 4. Kurt, I think this is what Kurt is saying. What do you suggest for people who have learned basic chords and strumming?
Learn as much songs as possible. Now that you know your basic chords and you know your basic strums and stuff, like just go for it. Just learn as much songs as you can with those basic strums and basic chords that you know, and then like add one more chord, and then that'll open up the door for like another 100 songs, and add another chord, and there's another 100 songs. So that's kind of how you progress.
Yeah. On Ukulele Underground, we have like Ukulele 101, which teaches you basic chords and strumming, and then Ukulele 102 is like what takes you to like where you're gonna move on from like maybe you're playing up more the neck more and doing more picking and stuff. So that's kind of like the direction.
Yeah, check it out. We have a course on Ukulele Underground Plus called Ukulele 100, Ukulele 101, and 102. And after 102, you can that's basically all you need in order to be like a really good intermediate player, and almost getting ready for advanced. If right?
Yeah.
Because at that point, you can just kind of branch out into whatever style you want to do.
We have like 103, and then we have like a bunch of other stuff too. But like those are the cores, like 100, 101, 102.
Fish or chicken, Kai?
Chicken.
I like fish. I mean, I love chicken. Don't get me wrong, I love chicken. But I mean, if it's either like a poke bowl or a huli huli chicken bowl,
well, I guess I'm
poke bowl all day, baby.
Guess I'm just can't work here anymore.
You fired.
Just have too many differences.
I know.
Okay.
Take my fish somewhere. Take my chicken somewhere else.
How often do you change strings?
Not as often as I would like, but I should change my strings at least once a month or every other month.
Okay.
That's my answer to that question.
Maybe we'll take a couple more questions.
Okay.
And then because the live video on Instagram ended, so. What's your personal background with music? Were you in band / choir in school? When did you start playing ukulele?
I was in band for 6 years of high school, from 7th grade all the way up till I graduated. I was also in college band, so I guess I did another 2 years I was in band for 8 years. So I learned a lot of my music theory and music knowledge and stuff with that. And usually you don't learn that much in a high school band, but our teacher Larry McIntosh really was a legend in the in the industry, and taught me a lot just beyond like high school stuff. So that's my background as far as music goes. I was in choir, but only for 1 year, just because the choir teacher's like, we just need male voices. I know you're flat, but we'll take you. We need male voices, like. I go, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm being quite frank, there's a lot of cute girls in that class. I'm like, hey, why not? I have an open period. I should go do that, I guess, And so I did choir for a year.
the best reason to join any class.
Yeah. Because it's like, I think like one dude to like 5 girls in that class is ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure that's like a sitcom plot.
Yeah, man. It's just like, you know what? Okay. And I mean, the teacher also kind of wanted to, had plans for me as well. And the Kaniho, our bass player that you guys see a lot in the videos, he did Your Man by Josh Turner, and he recently did Under the Boardwalk with us. He was also in the class and stuff, so the teacher had plans where like me and Kaniho would kind of play during the intermissions and the concerts and stuff, which we did. So there was like a lot of like cool stuff that I got involved with, even though I was only there for a year, but I was part of Kauai Singers, which is like the higher choir group. It was cool.
You had a 30-day practice schedule a few years ago. Do you plan on updating it?
You know what? It works. I don't fix anything that isn't broken. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. It's great. The 30-day practice schedule that we had is awesome. We might update it. We just like we want to redo a lot of stuff that we've done before, because a lot of our content is like 10, 11 years old. So we might want to redo some of them. But that is definitely one that we want to keep for a little bit longer. But
that's probably like one of our newer classes. That's why
considerably newer.
To update our older stuff.
Yeah, like uke minutes. So be on the lookout for new uke minutes soon. New old uke minutes. Old new uke minutes. But for all of you Instagram people, we might be posting it on some of that stuff on Instagram as well. So we're look forward to more content on Instagram.
Yeah, and then I think that's it.
Yeah, and for those people who are not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram over at ukeunderground.com. Not Ukulele Underground, but Uke Underground, UKE Underground. Over on Instagram, we update with some songs. I put up a lot of like songs that I like. I like to jam. We did A Whole New World, and I did some cool stuff. And there's some cool stuff coming up on Ukulele Underground. I think Kahai is working on ukulele solos that I'm really digging. That I'm super excited to show you guys. I did some Instagram stuff that I'm also like stoked to show you folks. I know Final Fantasy VII is a big buzz right now. I did a Final Fantasy song. I also did a Monster Hunter song because Monster Hunter is just kind of close to my heart. So we're gonna be updating with a lot of cool stuff. So keep it locked in on Ukulele on the Ground. I'll see you guys later. Have a great one. Thank you so much for tuning in to our live stream. We'll be doing this more often, I guess. And next time we do it, we might announce when we're gonna do it. But since this one is unannounced and you guys showed up, thank you so much for making us a part of your Monday. Okay, have a great one. Aloha.